What's up, y'all? You are now listening to Vibes is Fiction Podcast, Episode 3, Conscious Consumption or Unconscious Programming. I'm CeeCee Jones, artist, writer, uh, content creator, fiction alchemist. Vibes of Fiction is a blog and video series about analyzing and alchemizing fiction, and now turned into a podcast as of lately, which is very fucking new to me. But we're already on episode 3, so clap it up. But today's episode, we're gonna talk about content. Something that I realized that a lot of people don't be talking about, but they scratch the surface, but they don't really know what they're saying. A lot of people be like, "Oh, this is the internet. It's not really real anyway." Yeah, it's true, but not in the way you think. And this might be, I guess, a bit of a controversial episode because don't get me wrong, social media has changed real people's real lives. Like their reality is quite literally not the fucking same just because of one video they posted or one channel they started to hear or one video they watched. That is really happening. But that's not why the internet isn't real. It's because content is fiction. And I know what you're thinking, how is it fiction if we're watching real people do real shit? We're looking at them operate in the 3D reality on the physical plane. Okay. But the reason why content is fiction is because when you are looking at these things, your subconscious mind is wide the fuck open. You don't realize it's open, but it is. And a telltale sign that this is true, and I ain't just making shit up. Okay. Have you ever been on TikTok and you'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna be on here for 5 minutes, and then that 5 minutes turns into an hour, but it didn't feel like an hour? It still probably felt like that 5 minutes. That is happening because you have now been put into a trance. This is what happens when you watch a really good movie or you read a book or you find another good video, a good article, whatever. When you're consuming content to the point that you get lost in it, now your subconscious mind is wide the fuck open. And the interesting thing about the subconscious mind, it doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. It just takes things as true. And to top it off, the subconscious mind is filtering this content and categorizing it with the beliefs you already have within it in itself. So let's say you don't like pizza and you think everybody who has pizza is like a shitty person. Okay. Crazy. But just for example, if you believe that and then you're on the side of TikTok where people are making a bunch of food videos and let's say somebody has pizza, now your subconscious mind has just taken in that information because you're just scrolling and not being conscious anymore. You're going to make up a bunch of stories about content creators who cook food on TikTok or Instagram. And it's now just this whole thing that's perpetuated because content is fiction. But let's get into the conscious versus the unconscious mind or subconscious, whatever you want to call it. When you're conscious, you are aware. You're thinking, you're making decisions. This is your inner dialogue. This is you taking in information and doing things with it. This is your decision making. This is your waking life. Okay. But the unconscious mind, it doesn't ever shut off. Okay. Like, I don't know where people be getting that from, but it doesn't shut off. And yes, you only access it at certain times when you are relaxed or your conscious mind seems to be off, but it's not. Your unconscious mind is happening. It's like, you know how computer says, oh, you have 15 background apps running, but you might only have Chrome open? That's your unconscious mind or the background apps that you don't even know what the fuck it is. That's your unconscious mind. And yes, it's running in the background all the time. That's why if you watch enough videos or you see a movie, if you go to sleep at night and you have a dream about that movie or about some video you seen, that is proof that your unconscious mind is aware of all the shit that you're watching. So your conscious mind, that's your that's you being rational, that you're thinking, that you talking to yourself, but your unconscious mind, that's the part of your mind that's just taking things in, and you're not aware of it. You're not telling it to take in this information. You're not being decisive and selective. It just is. That's just its function. But with that being said, there's two different types of beliefs that happen within the mind in general. There's the personal beliefs you have that's based off of your memories. It's based off of personal experiences that damn near nobody knows about unless they were in the moment with you. But then you have external beliefs or societal beliefs. These beliefs are perpetuated by your physical reality, all the things outside of you. Kind of like here in America, we may believe, oh, dogs is a man best friend, but then let's say you go to Japan and they worship cats, but you're not Japanese. So with that being said, you still think a dog is man's best friend, but they think it's the cat instead. Okay, that is a societal belief. This is the conditioning you have based off of what the people around you are telling you that is normal for people around here. It's what you believe is normal about your environment. Okay, with this being said, I'm here to bust a myth about beliefs. You can change any of them, whether that be societal slash external or your personal beliefs. You can change any of them. They're all malleable. And even if they pop up here and there, they still have changed. And another myth bust about beliefs, myths, which are the things you believe because everything is a half truth. Because you believe it's true doesn't make it be true for everyone else. We're all living our own reality. So, with that being said, beliefs are always evolving. I don't believe any belief is staying the same. Even something you think you thought for years, as you live, it's changing in itself, it's evolving. Because now it started off as this little thing you believe to now it's this big thing, and you have all of this evidence from all your experiences throughout the years that make you say, hey, this thing is true. So with that being said, a belief can't stay the same even if you tried, because as you live life you are adding to it, and now you're either making it grow, making it smaller, and once something changes size, shape, volume, it is now a new thing. Okay. But with that being said, a good way to change up your beliefs without even trying too fucking hard is first making the decision to no longer choose fiction but letting it choose you. Something that is like a foundation for Vibes of Fiction to even exist before the podcast, like, period. I do not choose stories. Even if I think, oh, I really want to read something, I really want to watch something, I do not fucking choose them. I let the story come to me. I was actually at the library with my peoples the other day, like a month or two ago. And for the longest we were just walking around and I couldn't find anything to read. Like some stuff sounded good, but it didn't feel right. You know why? Because I was consciously trying to choose fiction. But the thing is, I needed to allow the divine, higher power, spirit guides, whatever your subconscious mind, your higher self, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I had to allow the story to come to me. And several things happened inside the library that led me to these two books that were exactly the books I needed. I didn't need I did not need all the other things that sounded interesting. That was me trying to consciously choose it. But the moment I let the fiction come to me, I got the perfect books. Matter of fact, I actually have another story, a more specific one. Okay, one day, this was last year, maybe the year before. Yeah, this was 2023. I'm tripping. I knew I needed to read a manga. I didn't know what, but something told me the story was gonna be long, it was gonna be dark, but I needed something along those lines. Like I had that general vibe, but I just didn't know what the fuck what. So I decided to let it go, and I was like, whatever manga I'm supposed to read at this moment, it's gonna come to me. Simple as that. So the day that I just consciously said that to myself, like, hey, whatever happens, just happens. That night, I had a dream. And interesting enough, this dream turned into a fiction series that I'm writing on Medium, which link in the description. But okay, but the dream itself, context, I be having dreams where I'm not myself, like I'm not even in the dream. Like it's almost as if I'm experiencing somebody else's life memories, maybe somebody else's dreams. I don't know. But my dreams aren't always me or of me. So in this particular dream, there was a guy in a dark hallway place kind of thing. It reminded me of a labyrinth, like a maze in a way. And it actually made me think of Maze Runner too. But there's these gigantic white walls just in that were coordinating like a maze. And they were concrete. The floor was concrete, but there was nothing else. Just these walls and just the only path that you could take. But it was like all entangled and confuzzled like a maze, but not so many different paths you could take. It was just one, but it was just one weaving path kind of thing. So in this place of concrete, this guy, and it's dark too, this guy is running for his life, and what's chasing him is this mass of darkness. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm just watching dude run away from this massive darkness, and it's crazy. And he finally gets away, but then I wake up. And to be honest, I now, with that being said, I did take that part of the dream and made it into this whole really cool thing. Again, you can read the fiction series. It's called Unconscious Encounters. You can read it on Medium. And okay, I woke up from the dream. The next day, I'm on TikTok and somebody I follow started talking about Berserk, the manga. And I have heard about Berserk most of my life, but I never thought to look into it or anything. I don't know why. I always thought it looked cool, like on the cover and stuff, but like I never thought to read about it. I didn't know what it was about for real. I couldn't tell you fucking anything. But when the I saw the video, I was like, oh, let me just go finally look up what Berserk is. Y'all, tell me why. I'm in the first chapter. Tell me why Guts is having the dream that I'm talking about. He's running in this place with all this rock, concrete kind of walls, and then I think he runs into like a demon or something, and then he wake up, and that's when he meets the little fairy like creature thingy. Who's actually a really cool character so far. Like they're funny, but he literally had that dream. Like that's chapter one. But I had the dream that led me to the book. That's fucking crazy. But that's what I mean by you gotta let fiction choose you. Because I didn't consciously think, oh, I need to just scroll through all the books possible. I need to hit a webtoon. All of that felt like that would have just been a waste of time. And I knew that the book was going to come to me. I had a general vibe, so I know what it would feel like if I found it. And the confirmation was seeing that the dream was his dream in chapter fucking one. Like, that's literally amazing. And I'm mind blown still. So let the fiction choose you. You don't need to go scroll on fucking TikTok mindlessly. You don't need to be on YouTube shorts looking at stupid stuff. You don't have to be doing any of that. Let the stories find you, and I promise you, that story holds some message or something in it that's going to lead to the catalyst of something great for you. Maybe it's the next inspired action you need to take. I don't fucking know. So, yeah, let your unconscious guide you. Okay, that's what the fuck it's talking about. Yeah. But with that being said, we need to talk about mental diets before, and this is the last thing I want to talk about for this episode. Okay, I'm into self help, of course. If you're listening to this, you're help. But um people like Neville Goddard and this, that, and the third, people who mainly talk about manifestation within self help, because self help isn't just about manifestation. Like, there's so many different aspects. Some people are talking about physical help, some people are talking about increasing your brain power, memory, habits. Some people are more talking about practicality, others are talking about tapping more into the metaphysical side of things. And then there's the third genre of self help, which is, I think, is more philosophy. That's when you get Stoicism, Hermetism, things of that nature. That's when you're getting more into psychology and things like, look at you, little science you. Okay. But with that being said, in the manifestation side of self help slash self improvement, Neville Goddard and them, and anybody along those lines, especially from his time, they talk a lot about mental diet. For the longest, I had no clue what the fuck a mental diet was, because I used to think, oh, don't be on TikTok for too long, or if I'm gonna be on TikTok for long, I need to reset my For You page, and it needs to be these three things I look at only and nothing else. Don't I dare like another food or cat video, because that's not what the fuck the diet is. Y'all, that is not the mental diet. I mean, that's part of it. That's the physicality of a mental diet. But when Neville Goddard or anybody adjacent is talking about the mental diet, let's say you want to manifest a car, okay? Within that car, the mental diet is when you're going throughout your day, because I noticed this within myself. When I have a goal or something, I might feel really good about it if I meditate, or when I'm doing my meditation slash journal practice, or when I use inner speech bubble. But then by the time it hits afternoon, I crash and I no longer feel as good as I did, that morning when I was doing techniques, doing the physically doing things, air quotations. When I was doing the things, I felt really good about the goal or whatever. But then at some point, I'm getting into, oh, things are not moving. I'm not seeing no signs. Where are the synchronicities? Where are the angel numbers? Where are the things that are saying, hey, something is fucking happening? Or even worse, where is the thing that I want? Where that? New reality, who this? You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's changing. But come to find out, the mental diet is what you put your attention on within you. So let's go back to the car example. If you're trying to manifest a car and you feel really good when you visualize it or whatever, okay, cool. But now the mental diet is you consuming everything in a way that aligns with you getting that car. Like, let's say you put your house keys on like a little key ring in your kitchen or something, and you're about to walk outside for some reason, you go to grab your keys. When you grab your keys, you shouldn't think, oh, I still don't have the car. No, the mental diet is you choosing in that moment, oh, I am so glad that there's enough space on my keys for my new car keys, or this logo about to be so sexy with the rest of my keys, or whatever the fuck else you have to think to reframe that, hey, me grabbing the keys, even though the car keys aren't there, this is exactly why they're about to be. This is your mental diet. So when you end up going outside, you don't think, oh, I don't see the car. No, when you grab the keys, you already said, hey, I'm mentally fixated on getting this car. And there's nothing I can see, or there's nothing that can happen that's going to tell me this isn't happening. I am only consuming whatever I need to believe for the car to be so. I'm only consuming the thoughts adjacent to the reality of the car already being in the driveway. This is your mental diet, and this applies to anything, not just a car. Maybe you want a new partner, maybe you want a new job, maybe you want a pay raise. I don't know. Maybe you want to start your own podcast. This is what you have to do. You have to go throughout the day constantly, not constantly, it shouldn't feel like a chore, but you need to have your mental diet. You need to be eating all the things you need to be eating that will say, hey, this is your reality. I only consume things of blank. And with that being said, you need to have conscious consumption. So when you don't see things moving in the physical reality, you're not being unconsciously programmed to think against the thing that you want. Because if you go into these negative thoughts, you just wavered. And there's no way you can get the thing because you don't truly believe it. You just conflicted with your own desire. And now the universe is like, well, do you want it or not? Let me the fuck know. So with that being said, mental diet, conscious consumption, yay. Unconscious programming, nay. You need to be 10 toes down on what you want. And everything needs to conform to that thing. And it's just, and at first it might feel a little silly, but after a while, this is gonna feel so normal. And top it off, I think it's Neville Goddard who says it only takes 3 days to do literally the fuck anything. And I've been into Kabbalah since like I want to say the end of 2024. That's when I discovered it, and I've been really listening to it. David Gim, he teaches Kabbalah. You can search him up on YouTube. He got a podcast too. But David Gim, he would tell you that whatever you want could come in a day. Even if that means the universe has to move mountains to get to you, once you believe the thing that is literally yours, it's yours and it's gonna show up like that. Matter of fact, he always makes the joke that even if 8 billion people in the world started to fight against you having that new car, that soulmate, it wouldn't matter. There's nothing those 8 billion people could do to you that will stop you from getting that thing once you believe it. It's simply so. The universe will deliver and say, fuck all them people. And you know what? With that being said, thank you for my TED talk. No, I'm just playing though. But that is all I gotta say. This is the end of episode 3. Conscious consumption versus unconscious programming. Um, Subscribe to Vibes Fiction. Share this episode if you really enjoyed it. All my links in the description to my website, inner speech bubble method, And yeah. And the belief myth bust, I actually have a YouTube video on that, which I will also link in the description. And there you have it. New episodes upload every 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 other Wednesday. And peace out.